If you want news and rumors that appeal, welcome to...
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel. I'm your host, the Innkeeper, and this is our live call-in talk show all about the Wheel of Time. Though tonight it's a little bit different. It's all about the Dusty Wheel. And without further ado, let me just bring in my guest panelist, Mary. It's so awesome to have you here with. Say hi to the crowd.
Hi, crowd. How's it going, my fellow barflies? Yeah, gotta represent. Got the good stuff in here too.
By the way, I can't wait to do this, right? I can't wait to do this when we have like everyone's got one of these and the show is premiering and we're all like, cheers.
Yeah, everybody clink, right?
Exactly.
Clink. So what are you drinking tonight, Innkeeper?
So this is some high quality water right here. See, like I've explained before, you can't be drinking anything else. I don't want to burp live. It's just not. It's not cool. So I want to. Everyone's here. Thank you for those of you that are in chat, joining us on Twitter, Facebook. Really appreciate you showing up for a third show this week to celebrate our passing 5,000 subscribers. Congratulations to everyone. I really appreciate it. The support's been awesome. I know Taylor really. In the morning when we wake up, we're like, what else can we do on the show? What can we do to make it more entertaining as the audience grows? So that's been a lot of fun. We're actually really close to 6K. So
wow,
that is really cool. And so the 7,500, hopefully that show, maybe if we're lucky, maybe by the end of June, we can do another one of these. So yeah, I just want to thank everybody for supporting us, for being here live. We're going to do some fun stuff tonight. I can't wait to do the little research reveal, but I'm going to save that for the end, because that's how these things go, right? They have to tease him.
Yeah.
So for those of you that are on YouTube right now, that are in chat, we're going to let you start signing up for a giveaway because, again, it's a celebration, so I got to do a giveaway. This time it's not going to be a mug, although you might be able to convince me to give you a mug. I'm going to do a t-shirt this time. We're going to come up with some cool Dusty Wheel t-shirt. We'll send you a copy. Oh, it looks like Todd might be joining us. Todd, can you hear us? He doesn't realize he's live. Todd's live with us and he's still staring at us. So
pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Exactly. So we're going to do a little giveaway. Taylor will throw that giveaway into chat. So if you're part of it, you'll be able to join here and we'll give that t-shirt away sometime later in the show. So yeah, why don't we start off? Taylor, do you want to throw that into chat really quick? And then we'll do the announcements. So while we wait for Todd to figure out audio here, and we'll wait for Taylor to put that in. Mary, what was your favorite episode that we've done so far since last year?
There've been a lot actually, and I love the idea of doing a clip show. That just cracks me up, actually. I loved the discussion, the deep dive into Gawain and Egwene and Min.
Oh, really? You loved that?
I liked that one. That was fun. That was a romp. It really was. And I really like digging into characters, especially characters that are a bit on the controversial side. I think that really speaks to how well a writer Robert Jordan was, because he could evoke such strong emotions from people, positive and negative.
Yeah, so I like the that's true. With every show we've done, I do like that you brought that up. A lot of fans loved the deep dive episodes we've done. I'm kind of curious for those in chat, as you sign up for this raffle that we'll give away. Oh, Todd, I think I heard your voice there.
I made it.
Welcome into the show, Todd. We really appreciate you being here. So yeah, as you sign up for this, I'm kind of curious, what was your favorite topic, or favorite episode we've done since last August? As I see those go by, those will be fun to do.
August.
And while we do that now, I want to, while you're signing up for the raffle, while you're telling us what your favorite episodes are, I want to jump right in and talk about announcements. So let's run through this. These are the upcoming shows we have. I just want to briefly go through those. This Sunday, we have Elliot from Thread Magazine. We're doing a live adaptation, part 6. It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to hear his opinion on this. After that, next Watt Wednesday, we have Mike from Mike's Book Reviews. He's going to be on here, and I'm going to have him review the entire Wheel of Time series. We're going to break it down. Now that he's had plenty of time to kind of sit back and think about everything he just read, I want to hear his opinions about this. That's going to be a lot of fun. Then the following Sunday, we're going to be back. That one's going to be for new readers of the Wheel of Time. We're going to have the Wheel Weaves podcast in with me and Emmy. If you all know Emmy's going to be there, and we're going to talk about being a new reader, their experience with that, how they experience fandom right now. I imagine it would be such a strange concept, if you ask me, to jump into something that's just so... We're always asking people to step away for like, oh, there's spoilers and such. Then after that, the following Wednesday, we're going to have Josh Stolars. I don't know if you've seen his maps he's been doing on Instagram. They are freaking amazing. So we're going to talk about mapping the Wheel of Time, talk about his, what work he does. I can't wait to have him with us. That's going to be a lot of fun. Then we're going to start off June with a fun episode, roundtable. We're going to have Adam Whitehead from dragonmount.com. We're going to have Rob, our friend who's actually in chat right now, Weekly Wheel News. And I'm going to even try to pull in Corey for this one. He hasn't given me the thumbs up just yet. He was doing some other stuff, but I put him on here hoping he'd be able to make it. We're going to be doing Talking Wheel of Time. We're going to be spinning that wheel. We're going to be having a lot of fun. So anyway, those are like the first 5 episodes we have coming up. But just so you know, we have a lot of other plans for June. We're definitely going to have Black Tower podcast. That's going to be a fun episode. And we have some other stuff. We'll do some more announcements later about those. But yeah, that was well, that's exciting for me. I don't know if you guys are like, I'm like, yes, we have the next month planned here. Now I want to bring this up. We have a second announcement, which is if you go look in the description, we finally did it. We finally do have a podcast. Now for right now, we're calling it the Dusty Wheel Live. If you go on Apple, I think it's everywhere, but if you go on Apple, you'll be able to find it. I hope you go grab it. It's a lot of fun to be able to go back and listen to these episodes. Right now, it's just all of our current episodes that we've done here live on the show, but we're going to add special content that only shows up on the podcast. And this is why I asked Peter to show up tonight, because we're actually going to create a second podcast. It's going to be called BARSIDE Chats with the Innkeeper, with my good friend Brian, and he and I are going to riff on topics, and our first topic has to do with Peter. So you're going to want this one, man. We're going to get that out here in the next week or two. BARSIDE Chats, we already did, like I said, we did one episode. It's hilarious. And yeah, thank you, Rob, pointing us out in chat. Podcasts aren't live. You're right. That one is just a podcast of all of our live shows. But BARSIDE Chats will be a lot of fun. It'll be Brian and I, and we'll bring in guests to do some fun discussions. This one has to do with Dark Friends. I think I don't want to malign Peter here, but I think you'll enjoy this one. So, what's that?
He's the ultimate dark friend.
He's the ultimate dark. Yeah, exactly.
Spoilers.
Oh yeah, sorry. So let's throw that up, Taylor. If we have a spoiler banner. I know Emmy is here with us, so I always have to. I feel bad. Emmy's eventually going to get it. I'm going to have to find like another new reader that I can talk about in chat, but. We are going to have some spoilers, but it's not going to be big spoilers. We'll try to preface them. You don't have to go away, leave right now. If any spoilers are coming up to the two of you that are with me, I ask you to help warn people before we ruin anything, because we're really just talking about the show and questions. That's what this is all about tonight. So, okay, that was a lot of the announcements. I have one more announcement to make. I know a lot of you have asked. You're like, hey, Matt, how can we help the channel? And I've always said this and still believe this. The more you share and the more you talk about this across social media, tell your friends, maybe go to your local library, whatever it is, that's going to create the biggest growth in the channel. So please keep doing those things. Now, I know some people are like, just let me give you money, which is such a weird comment to make, but okay. So if you go in, and Taylor will drop this link, and we'll put the link in the description later. It's paypal.me/thedustywheel. You'll be able to find that. If you are intent on leaving a tip to the Dusty Wheel, and you'd like us to use that for building out the Dusty Wheel and continuing to buy equipment and such, you can go and drop us a tip on PayPal. So for now, and Taylor, I think we'll put the link in there. I don't know if he has in chat. But again, it's paypal.me/thedustywheel. If you're intent, again, on leaving us a tip, you certainly can do that. And like I said, we'll be extremely grateful. But what we really would like you to do is just share what we do and be here live with us. I love it. I love you guys. That's what this is about, is live shows and live entertainment. And so I hope you continue to do that. So that was a lot of announcements. So I wanted to get that out of the way because I wanted to begin letting everyone ask questions. That's really what this is about. I'll watch and chat here. And I have some questions that were already submitted. So, but I want to ask you two, I know you just brought up favorite episodes, but what's your favorite memory, Todd, of this last journey of the last, 7-8 months? What comes to mind before we let the audience here just ask us a bunch of questions?
Getting rid of the green man.
That's your favorite memory? Wow.
That and how much, the cat swan love that comes through. Can you hear me good? I mean, I did have some serious technical difficulties. Am I coming through okay?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
I'm sure chat will tell us really soon if they have any problem hearing you. So
okay.
No, that's what's so interesting is you both picked out parts of the show that I would have been like, what? Those are your favorites? Yeah, like Glenn is saying, the first time Sarah called in, I think that was really exciting.
That was cool
for the show, obviously, and then also I think as Sarah's like come and visited in chat, sometimes that's just, you can tell it's a blast for everyone in chat. So, Mary, go ahead.
When you and John did the Sarah cosplay, that was fun.
Yeah. The Sarah cosplay moment was so great because we didn't know if she was going to be in chat. So we just kind of like prepped. We're like, when it happens, I'm so bummed that I couldn't make that freaking wig stay on my head. But it was fun for the time. Yeah. So I want to ask everybody in chat, what was your favorite, moment? Not necessarily episode, just moment. And this is definitely one. Emmy pointed out Yosha. Yeah, when she called us and she's like, by the way, Joshua would actually love to be called Yosha if you can make it happen. So,
and we're doing our best.
Yeah, absolutely. So, by the way, for everyone, we will open up the phone lines eventually, not just yet, but we'll open up the phone lines if you want to call us and ask us a question in person. You certainly can. So I want to answer a couple questions that I got asked on Discord. Katie said I couldn't be with us, so she asked me, how did you discover and become hooked on the Wheel of Time? And that's a great question. I was a typical book geek growing up. I was, a library rat. I loved going into the library and picking up a new series of books. My friend had gotten me into Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman, and from there on, he'd stopped reading the books, but I was like, I need more. Feist, Eddings, all of the typical kind of names. And literally the librarian was like, okay, I was like, what's next? And she pointed out The Eye of the World. And I think I was 14 or 15. She's like, this is it. And I was like, it's big and it's blue and it's a glossy cover. I'm in, like I was prepared for that moment to consume that book. So, yeah, that's where that began. Do you guys have a quick, how did you jump into it, Mary?
I actually picked it up in an airport bookstore. I too was a big book geek growing up, but I was 16 years old. I had to fly cross country, and I needed a big book to keep me company on the flight. And I saw The Eye of the World there, and picked it up and grabbed it and just absolutely devoured it. And then found out there were sequels, and I was so excited. And so got The Great Hunt, and then got The Dragon Reborn, and this was right before Shadow Rising came out. And I remember walking with my older brother at the mall because he was an even bigger book nerd, and we would just theorize constantly. I have really good memories of him sitting on a train going up to San Francisco to watch a baseball game and having a 3-hour Taymandred conversation with him. But
Excellent.
we're at the mall, and I look over to the bookstore, and I saw The Shadow Rising in the window, and I absolutely screeched like the fangirl I am, ran across the row. Pretty sure I tackled a toddler on the way. I'm not, well, I'll own that. And ran in and grabbed the book, bought it, and said, we're going home. And I think I was reading it before we even left the mall.
Nice. Todd, what's your quick first in? I know we want to do this to all the questions, but I thought I'd give you guys a jump in on this one. What was your first in?
I was in college in Kansas City, and I was flying back to Memphis, and I had a 4-hour layover in Atlanta. We had to skip Memphis and go to Atlanta, and I found a book that was one of those dystopian future books, and it had a half book with it. And I bought it, and the half book was the first half of The Eye of the World. And I don't know, I have no idea what happened to the other book. Don't even care. I got hooked on it pretty quick reading the half book.
That's funny. Yeah. I'm sure they still do that kind of thing and put those out there. That's a great way to find new authors. So, by the way, I'm seeing a lot of answers for favorite moments was the deleted scene. For sure, the deleted scene will live in infamy for me. It always had, right? That was like, I couldn't get over the deleted scene ever. But the fact that you all can see it and that Michael Kramer now reads it. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know how you kind of like that's. I feel like that's like a jumping the shark moment. And what do you do after that for an encore? I have no idea. We'll keep doing the show, but I have no idea.
You
like,
think
how
you've
you
already
beat that.
peaked? I mean, that is a pretty high peak. But
MATT. Yes, I think that was a peak. I don't know. Like, I don't know. What do we do at that point? I mean, again, it's like sure, maybe if we had Rosamund Pike on the show, that might be like a little bit higher or something. I don't know. I don't want to say that to Michael Kramer. You know what I mean? I don't mean higher.
Michael Kramer is awesome. But yeah. You got to set the goals high there, Matt.
Yeah, exactly. So I wanted to answer a couple more questions, and I'll open it up, and I'll jump back and forth between people who have questions in chat here. Katie also asked what inspired you to start Theoryland. Quickly, I'll do this one really quick. There was a ton of message boards back in the day. Asmodee had a message board, there was a lot of message boards that talked about theories. I just didn't think there was one website that did it. And I was like, well, I can do that because I just learned how to write HTML. And so I was like, I want a place that just talks about theories. That's it. And so I had ideas and I want other people to be able to talk about them. So yeah, that's what inspired me to start Theoryland was just seeing people talk about them, but there wasn't one place to do it. So, oh, hey, Sarah's here. Hey, Sarah, nice to see you. What's the one unknown thing that most bugs you, maybe even keeps you up at night? So one of the most unknown things that bugs me is that Robert Jordan never answered the question, can you actually meet yourself? I think according to the metaphysics that you can meet that you would actually merge into that person in that world. I don't think that they actually exist separate from you. But I wanted him to kind of clarify that from a metaphysics standpoint, and he never did, and he can't. And so that question of visiting a mirror world and meeting yourself just eats at me. I want to know, I know that Lanfear proposed this idea, but I want to actually know if it's possible. So that's a great question, Katie. Yeah, so feel free to throw a question. I'll answer any question pretty much in chat. I'll try to see those as they go, and yeah, we'll just basically have some fun. So, what's that one, Taylor?
Asking how the cats are doing.
Oh yeah, how the cat's doing? The cats are doing fantastically. I think Taylor's going to go get one of them. The cats don't like me. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means I'm a terrible person, but they don't like me.
You can
so
channel.
But the cats are doing wonderful.
You can channel.
Yeah, exactly. So another question that came in was from Badger Reborn. He said, you're very open about criticisms you have about The Wheel of Time. How do you find those issues have influenced your love of the series over the years? Like, that's a deep question. I guess Brandon found this out about us. At first, when he engaged with Theorylanders, he thought we were kind of out there to kind of catch him in a mistake because we like to kind of pick at the series. And I think over time he realized that we just really loved the series so much that we liked to pick at it. And so that we had good intentions. And so, yeah, I think with good intentions, I'm happy to critique The Wheel of Time, but I think the main intention's always been good. So it hasn't stopped me from loving it at all. So, what's the hardest part of doing the show? Jamie just asked. The hardest part, I think, is the build up to it. It's like the last hour, getting everything prepared for it. Just getting everybody on the show on the same page and getting past that first minute because I suck at intros. So if you go back, we'll do a fun little trailer sometime of like all of the flubbed intros I do. I'm better at it, but it's terrible. And thank you, Sarah. Thank you for popping in and sharing in this. Really appreciate it. Hope to much more growth of the channel. And I really appreciate all the support you've given us. So, really appreciate that a lot. What was your favorite fan theory? Oh, see, this is my favorite cat, by the way. This is Wayne. He doesn't know he's on live. Yeah, Wayne, he does not like me, but he's my favorite. So... as he wants to escape so quickly. He's out. This is a good one. What's your favorite fan theory that ended up being incorrect or that RJ went in a different direction with? What was yours, Mary?
One soul, two souls. My whole metaphysics on how that worked was completely shot down, and I still haven't gotten over it, but I'm all right with it. I was not in the two soul camp. I was firmly in the one soul camp, which did pan out. Also, I was in the camp that Lucerne was real, that it was a image of the past life, not something made up. We still had the spoiler thing, right?
No, there's no spoiler down there.
Okay, spoilers. Sorry. I was wrong about that, and I put a lot of research time into the books, finding evidence for it, and I also remember a quote from Jordan says, I love theories, and I especially love the little sound they make when they die.
Yeah, that's a great one. I need to put that quote up. Having Robert Jordan tell me, who I created Theoryland, and having him give me that quote of loving the sound, I can't remember exactly, but as a theory when it dies, like hearing that from him at DragonCon, that was another kind of peak moment for me. I was like, Are you kidding? You just told me that? That's ridiculous. Favorite characters and who's your favorite casting the show? This is everyone could probably answer this one. My favorite characters are Lanfear and Varen, easily by far. Padden Fane is up there too. Favorite casting the show so far? That's really tough. I think I've said before Rosamund, but the gentleman Johan, who they picked for Padden Fane, oh man, I want to see him bring that character to life so much. That's I can't wait. Let's see what else we got here. But while I look for other questions here, Todd, who's your favorite cast pick so far?
Lan.
Lan's your favorite?
Yeah.
Or Lon. Lon's your favorite?
Since
Lon
you already took Padden Fane, because I was going to pick Fane, but you already took him. So.
While everyone's watching, I got to ask everybody this question. So everyone's heard of the Lon controversy, I'm assuming. And if you haven't, the question is, how do you pronounce Lan? Is it Lon, or like mowing your lawn? Or is it Lan, like pan? And so it was posted, I think Dragonmount had mentioned that it was canon, that it's Lon. And I saw a collective fandom lose its mind over this, which was pretty fun to watch. So throw me in chat. How do you pronounce it, or what? Oh wow, there's lots of Lons, really. Wow.
I pronounced everything wrong, so I'll just keep pronouncing that one wrong too.
At least you're consistently wrong about being wrong.
Exactly.
Yeah, well.
So Brandon asked, what were my thoughts on the ending that was written for Padden Fane? If you go back and watch, there's a Padden Fane episode, Fane Mordeth episode, and that really digs into what I think happened. Go back and watch that, but my quick answer to that is I think more is going on there than we see, so without spoiling anything. Sorry, I didn't prepare for spoilers, but I didn't even go into details. I think more is going on there than we've seen as far as how the books ended regarding him. So, Ted, yes, I agree. DragonCon was awesome. So, Dana has a question, and I think Taylor was hoping I would miss this question. Will you please introduce Taylor on screen? This is his milestone too. Taylor, come on.
Taylor.
Come on. Be nice to all the viewers. They showed up tonight.
I have to run the stream.
I know, but they showed up tonight because they want to meet you. 5,000 subscribers, all of your hard work. I can't.
And they want to see a gun show.
Just take a moment.
Show them
the gun show.
Gun show.
By the way, Androl, hopefully you guys are following him on Twitter. he is the one that wrote the song, and I rarely ever call him out. The Bard of Time on Twitter, he wrote the intro song, and it's so great. I love that thing. So yeah, Pater just said I just got mentioned on the Dusty Wheel. So, and Andrew wrote a song about me in 1 week. I think I peaked. Yes, you did. That's the end. That's the end. That's the end of your peaking. So what else we got here for questions? So I have, and sorry if I've missed your question in chat, feel free to throw it in there again so I don't have to scroll up too far. I'm going to answer some questions that I was given today. Unraveling the Pattern asked, who's your favorite Wheel of Time content creator and why is it What Up? Nicely done. No, but Unraveling the Pattern brings us up. That's been one of my favorite things about doing the channel is all of the content creators. When I was sending out mugs to all the content creators that we've had on the show, I don't think I realized quite how many people had been on the show. Show your mugs. And hopefully all of them will be receiving theirs soon. And then we enabled all the fans, at least for a couple days there, maybe it was just Mother's Day, to buy a mug. I can't wait to see these out in the wild. But yeah, that's been my favorite part. All the content creators have been fantastically welcoming to this community. It's been awesome to see them. John from What Up, of course, Nablus and Daniel Green and White Tower Podcast has been with us. I mean, I don't want to try to name them all in this moment, but it's been awesome.
The episode we did with Jess and Jen was fun. We got to do that again. We got to get them in and Tal and I and just go to town. We got to do that again.
By the way, Tyler Goodyear, great lord over there, asked me, were any of your theories correct? Wow. That's rude. Because yes, they were some of the most important theories, and I'm not going to ruin the books for everyone here, so I won't spoil it. I won't spoil anything for people that don't want me to spoil, so you'll have to ask me that question later during a spoiler episode. But thanks, Tyler, for bringing that up. Let's see what else we got on here. So the question from Delusions of Grendel, she said, we have discussed at so much length that Min is a sexy lamp. To celebrate your 5,000 subscribers and in recognition of your love for Min, what character would you turn into a household object, and what object would it be? Jeez. Wow. So I definitely think it has to be Grendel because she's such a worthless character. So let's see. What would I turn her into? Oh, yeah. So like Grendel into like a, into a little, what I can't think of the word. Coaster. There we go. Grendel became a coaster. That's how much I think of her.
Oh, you're so wrong. I mean, mean. I mean, both.
Yeah. Any Day Now just said, will you do a live panel to dissect episodes with Daniel, Nablus, John, Reading the Pattern, and others? Absolutely. So for those of you that are kind of curious how this itself, the Dusty Wheel, will relate to the episodes when they come out, I will absolutely be inviting them or hope to be invited by them. Either way, we'll be doing lots of live panels dissecting every small piece of this, and I would love it, setting it up with as many content creators as possible. It would just be a lot of fun. So yeah,
y'all will be blown away by how deep Matt can go.
Yeah, exactly right. Alexander Anderson asked, what is your theory to why we haven't heard of castings for Min and Elaine? Okay, so I used to be in the camp of this was similar to that whole Tom and all these others hadn't been cast yet, but it was fine. We were still going to get them. I don't know. I'm starting to move on from Camelin to those. I want to ask the both of you this question. I could imagine we get a short blip in Camelin, but not what we see in the books. I could imagine that the first season relatively skips most of Camelin, and they don't have to cast these characters who would only be in like one or maybe two episodes, depending on how far they go into the next book. I would not be surprised if they decided to push off the casting for much of the. I think we'll get Min, but for Elaine, Gawain, Galad, Morghese, maybe we'll get a Lida, but I would not be surprised. So that's my current take on that. So,
and I Taylor, think we talked about before that's going to depend on Logain also, what they do with him.
Yeah, for sure. And by the way, Rob said you don't have to be a podcaster to be a content creator. Amen to that. Because we've also had Rob on, and Rob's he's been creating Wheel of Time content for just as long or even longer. I think I saw some of his images on the internet before we created Theoryland, I want to say, or maybe right around there. Oh, wow, Dana said, Camelin is in, don't break my heart, Matt. Sorry if I just hurt everybody. So yeah, let's take a break for a moment. Let's pick the T-shirt winner. How about that? So for those of you that are watching on Facebook, Twitter, if you're still there and you haven't come here, or if you're watching us on YouTube but you haven't joined the raffle, I'll give you just one more second to do that. You can just put !Raffle. I think is how you join this, and then we'll just raffle off the T-shirt because it's fun. We gotta be doing this. We gotta have fun. It's 5,000 celebration. This is crazy to me.
It's raffle, not raffo. Make sure you don't confuse.
Yes, not raffo, but raffle. That's true.
Raffle, !Raffle.
So and for those of you that are watching right now while we do this, hopefully you'll click a like, click a like, whatever, hit like on this video so other fans can find it later on. And if you're watching us for the first time, please come subscribe. It's a lot of fun what we do here, and we're going to keep doing it all year long. Can't wait until I can't even imagine this a year from now, but I think we've had 30 to 40 guests on the show, something like that, some crazy number. So. Oh, wow, those people are still... Omar, you're nice. Raffo, good job. Did they? Okay, we'll give everybody a second to get their Raffle in here. Wow, we see a lot of people doing that. So I'll answer another question here. What is your favorite theory or topic?
Oh, God, no.
Everybody, it's look, Teleron Riyadh. Let's be honest. That is the best. If they ruin Teleron Riyadh in the show, don't include it. That would be so sad. I don't know. I'd still watch, but I would be so disappointed. So my favorite theory or topic, definitely, all my friends here, even those who have been viewing this show for the last 8 months, they could answer probably all these questions about my favorites and least favorites. Okay. Rafe Judkins. I love it. Okay, so we're going to do this raffle thing, although I still see people doing it. I don't know if this is the second time they're throwing it in. Kenny and Bob, I don't know if you're new here, but we caught you. Robert Jordan. Okay, Taylor, let's pick a winner. Thank you, everybody, for joining in. I don't know if we just got another new one here. I feel bad that we're like we're closing this out, but here we go. We're going to pick a winner. Maybe we'll even, I don't have a drum. We need one, you'll have to play it next time. So,
okay, here we go.
3, 2, 1. Let's pick this winner. Let's do it. Who was it? Don't tell me it's Jamie again. Emmy! Nice job. Emmy won the T-shirt. That's amazing. Emmy, congratulations. Maybe we'll give a second T-shirt away. You have to ask Terry. The innkeeper's wife might have a comment about that. Maybe we'll do that one at the end. But congratulations, Emmy. You won the T-shirt. You showed up, even though we might have ruined something for you. Hopefully not. And you won the T-shirt. So, so Rob just asked this question. I'll try to answer this one. What's your favorite memory about meeting Robert Jordan? So a bunch of us got to go to DragonCon 2005. That was the first time I had ever met him. And I kid you not, and I think I've told this story once or twice, maybe in the show over the last 8 months, I had the opportunity to be a bodyguard for him, walking him through DragonCon hallways. It was me and some other dude. I don't know who it was. And it was a really cool moment. Not because I just got to be his bodyguard, but because I got to tell fans, stand back. He doesn't answer any questions. I was like, this is so cool. I get to tell other fans, no, he's not answering questions. We just need to go. So I got to walk him through the ridiculous hallway that they have at DragonCon, right? That thing was so packed. And Robert Jordan was so tall. And so everyone could see him. There was no doubt, who I was bodyguarding here, right? And so I'm walking through the hallway, and it was really interesting because we brought him to the room that he was at, and I was probably still more shy than this show pretends to suggest. But I did not use that moment to ask him a ton of questions. He kind of stood by himself, and I was just I didn't know what to do. So I just kind of stood there too and said hi. But yeah, can you believe I had the opportunity to just ask him anything I wanted to ask him, and I didn't. So I don't know. I probably should have. All my friends were like, what are you doing? Why didn't you ask him the 700 things? I don't know. It didn't seem right. We asked so many questions that Dragon Con. If you've ever seen all of our reports, 7,000 questions. So yeah, being the bodyguard for Robert Jordan was my favorite Robert Jordan memory. Would I steal Marin Alvear's honeycakes? Yes, that is correct. I would. Are you either of you? Would you steal them or would you not?
Yes, definitely.
Yep.
Yes, right. Favorite Robert Jordan interview answer, and why is it when he asked a woman to go have a love affair? Favorite Robert Jordan interview answer? That's impossible. I want to say that.
Any of them that confirmed a theory, or killed a theory.
Specific ones, yeah. So I don't want to ruin. I don't want to ruin.
Yeah.
I don't want to ruin, like, spoil things. But so okay, I will tell this one. This one's fun. Twice we had Robert Jordan stop us and say, "What?" Because we asked questions that were using vocabulary that we used. So what we at Theoryland call the space where Egwene sees all the dreams of all the people in all worlds, and I don't think that's a huge spoiler, so I apologize for anybody. What we called that was the gap of infinity, because the way that Robert Jordan describes it, he uses the word gap and he uses the word infinity, and we're like, well, okay, cool. So this is just the gap of infinity. Done. Because when you're talking about these things online, as you probably all know, you need to have like a quick thing that you can do. So the gap of infinity is what we called it. And we asked him the question, we're like, something about the gap of infinity. And he's like, excuse me, what? And all of the Theorylanders were like, he doesn't know the books. Like, why doesn't he know what this is? And we're like, the gap of infinity. And he's like, I don't. And finally someone's like, the place where Egwene. And this is why we came up with a name. Because everyone would write, the place where Egwene, blah, blah, blah. And we're like, this is dumb. So gap of infinity is what it's called. You should all spread that to everyone. And so, yeah, that was kind of one of my favorite moments with Robert Jordan, is asking him stuff where he would be like Sparkers and Learners. He didn't know what that was. We had to explain his books to him.
When he called us junkies.
Junkies.
Mihail just asked, is the gap of infinity outside of the pattern? No, it is not. But it is, well, anyways, that's a deeper conversation. We can have that one time. So
it's between the waking world and Teleron Riyadh.
We can have that. That's a good conversation.
It's the gap of infinity.
It's the gap of infinity. Any day now just asked, would you ask RJ how he will handle the Eilfin and Elfin the next time you have the chance? It was one of my favorite sub-stories. Yeah, so I wish if I had a chance to ask him that question. That's one of those, the Eilfin and Elfin, we did ask him if they had souls, so we got that. That was good. But we did not get to ask all the questions that we would have liked. So I got another question in Discord, which was, what Wheel of Time character do you identify most with? Do either of you have like a great answer with this? And those of you in chat, you can answer this. I'd love to find out which, not necessarily your favorite, which do you identify most with while I kind of consider this. That's a great question. I want to say that a mix of Perrin and Matt, if that makes any sense. But if you could like create a mix of those two characters, that's the character I would associate most with. I feel like there's a lot of Perrin in me at times, and there's a lot of, not Matt post when he left the Two Rivers. There's a lot of Matt like in the Two Rivers that I associated with a lot. There's one that you associate with, either of you, Mary?
Yeah, the one that comes to mind is Fail, believe it or not. Somebody who's, raised, and there's a lot of expectations put on her, but she went and forged her own way anyway, and she made a lot of mistakes along the way. But she picked herself up and dusted herself off and kept going. And everything that happened to her, she made a fool of herself, but kept going. She had horrible things happen to her, but she kept going. And she kept herself together, even though a lot of people around her were falling apart. And they looked to her for help. And that just really speaks to me.
Yeah, that one's really good. Todd, is there one that comes to mind real quick?
I don't know if there's one that I identify with so much as I wanted to be Gareth Bryan.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. That focus,
Well, like I said, this is a live call-in talk show, like you guys all know. And so if you'd like to give us a call and ask me or my panelist here a question, you can ask us anything if you want to do it live. We'll continue to answer questions this way, but we want to put that number up for you, 1-313-825-5968, and maybe I'll be able to get Taylor eventually on the camera here before the night is over. How many people ended up, let me ask some really quick. I'm trying to go back up a little bit here. Did RJ ever call his fans something else, something himself? I don't remember RJ ever having a name for his fans. Haplo asked, did he tell you to get a life, William Shatner? That's good.
He did call us junkies at one time.
Did he really?
Yeah, he did.
So that's interesting. Gadflies asked, do they have souls? I'm not sure if you're asking that about the Finns or the individuals that are in the Gap of Infinity. So you'll have to write another question. How many people ended up getting married in Theoryland? I think we have at least seven couples. 7 couples. Right? I think there were 7. I want to say at least 7 that we were told about. So yeah, that's right. People got married through Theoryland. That's a claim to fame. That's one of those peaks. I love it. That's right. Yeah. How many people though? That's the real question. How many people will end up getting together through the Dusty Wheel over the next decade, right? That's a good question. Miss Sarah James asked, after all your rereads, are you still finding new connections and foreshadowings in the book? Yes. It's really crazy. But I want to answer this question. This is maybe specific to me. As you can tell, I enjoy research. And so I'm very topical about what I'm interested in the books. It's rare that I'm ever just sitting there kind of like, I'm going to pick up a random book and read just through the entire book. I like to go looking for things. So that I'll specifically be reading something and reading it extremely slow, looking for new connections and foreshadowings, because that's the stuff that interests me. I don't really just like rereading for rereading anymore. That doesn't, like I said, I'm really topical and it helps on the research side of things, but I don't enjoy them that way anymore. And maybe I just need to. I think it's because I just don't have as much time. That has to be it. I have this one. Oh, the chat bounced me if I can go find it. The question was, do you think that the ways, shoot, I think I'll be back up here. Okay. If I can find this question. Man, I don't know if I'll be able to get it. Oh, here we go. Okay. Do you think that, this is from MK, do you think the Ways is in the same space as the skimming space? Yes, I think that the Ways was built in the same place as the skimming space. I think it's self-contained. So I think it's a structure. I think it's structurally using that space, but it's in the skimming space, but it's, if that makes sense, right? It's like a dome, if you would. I think that there's that's definitely, just from all of the metaphysics related to both places, it doesn't make sense that they are two distinct locations, if you will, because they share very similar properties.
I think there's a theory about that on Theoryland that goes into quite a bit of detail.
By the way, this is really funny that this comment comes after this. Mary Sue said, I love Matt's 100% confidence tone when he starts answering questions about metaphysics. Oh, that's so great. I do. Yeah, I probably, oh man, there's so many, like when I do this, everyone can make fun of me now. I do this a lot. I don't know why. I don't know. I think that's like, I have like a point to make. I start tapping my fingers. It's really funny. Let's see. Next question, as I scroll here, is the golem still falling or did he die right away? I want to say that Brandon said he's dead. Yeah. Spoiler. Okay. I should stop. Yeah. So there's going to be some spoilers. Whatever. We're trying not to ruin things. I'm like answering questions from people, like, and forgetting that there actually is. There are people in here that probably don't want things spoiled. So, what's your favorite nickname for the community, and why is it Watchers?
Watchers.
Do you guys have a favorite nickname for the community?
I like Hardcore Fan Freaks because it's us.
It does. It comes from the Theorylanders. It's the closest to our heart. Hardcore Fan Freaks is definitely the closest to, probably, I don't know, Mary, I don't want to speak for you, but is that your favorite also?
Well, I have a personal connection to it because I was the one that overheard it at a book signing.
Right. Right.
and brought it to Theoryland, and everybody embraced it, like the hardcore fan freaks we are. But of the ones for the overall Wheel of Time community across all the different social media platforms, and I like Watchers.
Watchers. Okay,
Yes.
wow. Yeah, Watchers. So for those of you in chat, I'm kind of curious, what is your favorite one? That's I have a really hard time with this question. I think Hardcore Fan Freaks is probably where I go because it's just nothing really kind of sits with me. I know that Black Tower Podcast is going to be putting out a bracket here and letting the internet pick it bracket style. So that's going to be an interesting one. Let's see. Do you have a PC? Yes, the whole show is running off of a PC. Let's see. Joe asked, which character's death hit you the hardest and why? Well, I don't want to ruin that for anybody.
Spoilers.
Which character's death hit you the hardest? Yeah, so this is a spoiler for anyone watching.
Spoilers.
I'm going to see if I can say this without spoiling too much. Yeah. So, no, I can't. I feel like this is such a heavy spoiler. So we'll do a show. That's a great show, Joe. We'll do characters' deaths. That'd be a fun one. Yeah. So discussing the characters that have died, kind of one of those, end of year kind of things that goes, what are they? I can't think of the word, but anyways, it's like at the Emmys where they show these people have passed recently. Anyways, yes. I can't think of the word. You guys can correct me in chat.
In memoriam.
In memoriam. There we go. Yeah, we'll do an in memoriam for the Wheel of Time. I love that idea. Let's see what else. What other questions we have? So people are throwing their answers in. I just fast forwarded a bunch here. Now I have to paperback writer said the gap of infinity dances between a layer of the age lace. That's how dreamers can see specific threads and people near far. Personal headcanon. See, I love when people use age lace. I'll be honest. It's very cool when people can start talking about metaphysics to me. Like it's like, oh, they know what they're talking about somewhat. And so let's have a conversation. Let's see. Why isn't the skimming place evil? Where is Machnshin? Well, because it's self-contained, so it would be contained within that space itself, and so it wouldn't be out among the skimming space itself. That's how I'd answer that question.
There was one question from Matthew Caldwell. Who's the funniest character in the Wheel of Time besides Matt?
The funniest character? That's an interesting one. I don't know that I have a funniest. That's a really great question. A funniest character.
Or one that makes you laugh.
Yeah, I mean...
Tom Maryland.
Tom is for you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know why that one doesn't stand out to me. I just don't... Again, if you ask me, it's like, what is the character that visits Teleronria that you like the most? That's awesome.
That may be a little fixated.
I might. You might notice that. We have a caller. Let's bring him into the show. Hey, welcome. Is it Daniel to the Dusty Wheel?
Yeah, I'm coming on by. How are you guys doing?
Hey,
Daniel Green,
hey,
welcome to the Dusty Wheel, man. How you doing tonight?
Insanely bored. So when I saw you were live streaming, I got very excited and was like, "Great, let's call in."
Sweet,
Nice.
That's awesome. That's what we are here to do: is take advantage of all boredom. That is definite. So, by the way, we're here in part a lot because of how much you and a lot of other content creators have embraced the show too. Really appreciate you showing up on. We did an interview back with, wasn't it like November timeframe? I don't know. I feel like we did one interview then. You came on the show, and then this last collaboration with you was crazy. Fun isn't the right word.
The biggest collaboration I've ever done.
It's just crazy. It's still kind of echoing in my head and online. People are still sharing it and talking about that. So, yeah, that collaboration itself, it makes me go like, we need to do this again, but it has to be something I feel like we both care about like that much. And so I don't think it's like obvious, right? So someday
we also need a break.
Yes. No. Yeah. No
we
time.
Need like
quickly.
a 2-month break.
And then we need to.
It needs to be like the bat signal, right? Like you can't turn it on every time. You got to wait for the Joker to hit.
Exactly, and then we need to like brainstorm some stuff, kick some things around, and then it's gonna get. Then we're both gonna like want to spend some time like studying this thing out. So yeah, but I can see sometime and pushing something out, and by the fall, definitely it'd be fun. It'd be awesome. So this whole thing, Daniel, when you hit 5K, when was that for you? Do you even remember?
5. So I can, because so here's the thing. It took me like well over a year to get to 10K, and I think roughly around a year's time frame to hit 5K. Like it's funny. Like YouTube basically kind of puts you, I feel like, in a trial phase for the first like good stretch of time, and
Nice.
then after like you prove, oh, you're going to stick around for a while, then they're like, okay, cool, and they'll start like promoting you. You just have to like they want you to like prove you don't think it's a sprint, that it's a marathon kind of deal.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I'm going to be honest, I'm really jealous of your growth so early on, because I remember the days when it was like months and months and months of 20, 30 subscribers, and half of them were just telling me to stop. You blew by that phase, right? You just kind of like, all right, cool, we're past that, and now you already have your own little community going, and it's fantastic. I love seeing it.
Well, again, it's a lot of it is the embrace of other content creators, and there are so many, like, when it's, hey, I want to get to know these, these Wheel of Time podcasters doing this, or this artist doing this right now. This is just like a new age of the Wheel of Time. So I think there's part of that, which is it's a lot easier to kind of go out and kind of find, interesting people kind of doing some fun stuff in the Wheel of Time. So yeah, I think there's a whole mix of that, but and I'm sure part of just having already jumped into the Theoryland side of things, where I'm sure, like my two panelists here have come on, that has helped too, kind of some awareness at least of the community itself. So that's been cool. That's been cool itself.
Well,
yeah, go
something
ahead.
that's so awesome is like how, since like the show's been announced, I feel like it's reawakened a fan base I didn't know existed. Like before I made the channel, right, I didn't know other people liked this series, to be honest. Like I didn't know it was one of the best selling fantasy series ever, because it wasn't talked about like Game of Thrones or Lord of the Rings. And so suddenly, like, I made the channel and people were like, yeah, like, oh, a lot of other people have read this. And then I remember the day someone told me it was one of the best selling fantasy series ever. And I was like, wait, what? I was like, really? And I had to go look it up. And then the show has just shown me that there's people who have been doing amazing stuff around these books for so long. And I'm so happy to like meet them and see like, artists or, website runners like yourselves, or people like Nablus, who have just, they're out there. And now that the show's happening, they're like encouraged to get going. And I'm like, hell yeah, give me some competition.
Well, that in and of itself, I think you're right. I think I had listened to some, it was like a podcast, and they were doing their first episode, and they said something like, yeah, I don't think it's really, the Wheel of Time has really been talked about a lot about on the internet or something. And like, I was listening to it, and it just made me chuckle because it was like 2007. And I was like, it's been talked about a little bit. And it was just one of those funny moments where I was like, yeah, but not some old, again, like Theoryland is a lot of fun for me still, and I still use it every day, especially when I'm in research mode. But a lot of people just don't go to websites like that to do discussion. Does that make sense? It's just like,
right.
It's happening in Reddit, and it's happening other places. And so it makes a ton of sense why it's like, fandom's so huge that, a lot of content creators didn't necessarily know that there were other content creators out. And that's why I like that we're all kind of getting to know each other and creating this community of it. It's awesome. I don't know, at least for me. And I have you on the phone. I feel like Joe is here. This is a good time. We're going to do the little, how about you're on the phone, Daniel? Do you mind if we do my little research reveal with you on the phone here? Does that work?
No, go right ahead. I'm
Okay,
happy for it. Let's go.
Can you hear the show where you're at right now? That's the part I need.
There's a big delay.
So yeah, I'm just trying to think of a way for him to be hearing what, because it's something that.
I'll put some headphones on.
Okay, throw some. You want to be able to hear the show there, and so, are you? Get him on. No, but he won't be able to hear what we're about to do. So I just want to make sure that he can hear this, because it's a lot more fun if you can. So I told everyone I told everyone that there's going to be a little reveal research that I did. This has to do with one of our favorite topics. And so Taylor, do you want to throw up the introduction to this? Yes, that is correct. The Wheel of Time pronunciation is the topic. And this is brought to you by Robert Jordan, the voice of Robert Jordan. So I saw this issue going on with Lan or Lon, or however you want to pronounce his name on the internet. And it happened to be, I think it was like, was it Wednesday night? I don't know when it was. No, Monday night. It was after our thing had, it's like that crazy day. This was, I kid you not, this was literally Monday night. Afterwards, I just sat there going like, I want to look this up. So I have some access to some audio files that we did at Dragon Con and such of Robert Jordan speaking, and he liked to do pronunciations of some of the words. So let's have fun with some of the words that I found Robert Jordan pronouncing. And I want to state this outright, that this is not necessarily canon. This is just how Robert Jordan pronounced these words. So however you want to parse that.
Oh, Lord.
So let's try some here. Okay, our first one is going to be one of my favorite, because everyone gave me the hardest time about this freaking word, Tarvalan. So, and everyone told me that the correct pronunciation was Tarvalan. And I was like, okay, I hate that, but that's fine. So let's play Robert Jordan saying Tarvalan.
Tarvalan, which I thought was quite self-evident. Tarvalan, which I thought was quite self-evident. Tarvalan, which I thought was quite self-evident.
That's correct. Robert Jordan just said Tarvalan, which I thought was quite self-evident. So I will never again say this word, Tarvalan. That is correct. Whether or not it's canon pronunciation, I don't care. Robert Jordan just said Tarvalan, which he thought was quite evident. So hopefully those of you that are watching in chat, give me a thumbs up if you heard the same thing I did, which was Tarvalan, which is a lot of fun. So I don't know if Joe recognizes where this little bit is going, but Joe had asked this question about some other names on the internet. We're getting there, Joe. We're getting there. Let's go to the next word here. Taylor, you want to give us... Okay, Taylor's doing something back there. So our next word is Machnshin. I always used to pronounce this as Machnshin. And so I think I was always wrong here. So let's I'm kind of curious what you guys all think. But go ahead and play how Robert Jordan said it.
Machnshin. It's not quite Machnshin. Machnshin. Machnshin.
Yeah,
Machnshin.
So Machnshin. I never say it that way. Did you guys say Machnshin ever? Was that ever in your kind of pronunciation guide? I know, Daniel, did you ever pronounce it Machnshin?
I pronounce everything exactly the way Michael Kramer and Kate Redding did, and my mind is currently being blown.
Machnshin. Okay. So, like I said, Joe, we're going to get there, man. We're getting there. So, our third word. We're going to do 4 words here. I don't want to belabor it. Our third word, and this one I love, but I don't think our favorite Nablus happens to be in chat right now. But this one's going to be fun. So, when I say Nablus,
no.
I say Nablus, right? I think that's what you're supposed to say is Nablus, right? And so I'm kind of curious. Let's see how Robert Jordan pronounced this word.
Not Nablus, it's Nablus. Not Nablus, it's Nablus. Not Nablus, it's Nablus. Not Nablus.
That's correct, folks. Not Nablus, it's Nablus. And for some reason, at least for me, it's like Nablus is not as intimidating. Do you find this to be true, Todd? Is Nablus as intimidating as Nablus is to you?
Oh, sorry, I was muted. No, I like Nablus.
I like Nablus. So I
like
did this
things
one.
that roll off my tongue because I'm not good at pronunciations anyway, so I just kind of roll with Machnshin.
Watching chat here is so great. Nablus. Oh man, people are like mind blown. Okay, we finally made it. This is why I wanted to do this the entire time.
Nablus.
Again, I'm not saying that this is actually canon. Remember that. I'm just saying this is how Robert Jordan was recorded saying this once. And Joe, this is for you. Our last word of the day is a character named Lan. Or is it Lan? I don't know. Let's see what Robert Jordan had to say.
I'm curious. Let's see how Robert Jordan.
Well, I don't know. As I like to point out, Lan was the guy who I grew up wanting to emulate.
You gonna throw the other one up, Taylor?
Land.
That is correct. At least for me, for the future. Whatever the correct pronunciation is, I will say Lan for the rest of my life. So there we go. Hopefully you all enjoyed the Wheel of Time pronunciation brought to you by Robert Jordan. He was a wonderful man, and those were wonderful moments and great memories of being there. And so, like I said, this was for Joe. I had to do this research once I saw that there was a question. I hope you enjoyed being on. You called it the perfect time. I hope you enjoyed being there, Daniel, for this moment.
It's like a 5-year-old pronouncing all these names, but it's coming from the creators, so I can't dispute it. They're all wrong. I hate it.
Yeah, like I said to everybody, I am not stating, unlike the video that Daniel and I did recently, I am not stating that any of this is canon. All I'm saying is these are some of the pronunciations I heard from Robert Jordan. So, oh man. Well, Daniel, thank you so much for calling in. I really appreciate that. Again, you called in at the perfect time. It was so fun to be able to do that with you here. A little nod to additional research. And yeah, I look forward to the moment that we have rest and relaxation, and we can come back and pick up another topic sometime. So
sure.
That's going to be amazing. But yes, again, thank you for that. And I keep on going back to definitely people keep on asking me questions about our video. I think people will forever, but yeah, really appreciate you being there and for calling in tonight.
I appreciate you agreeing to do it in the first place, and I can't wait to work again. Talk to you later, man.
Yeah, man. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Hey, Matt.
Yes.
Are you going to say lawn fear now?
No. Again, it's Lan. It is Lan fear. That is correct. That is how I will always say it. Because it's not canon that actually matters to me. So I will. It doesn't have anything to do with Teleron Riyadh. Let's just admit that. So
right.
Let's. Yes, to Rob's question, he did say a lot of other names, and we'll do some fun releases. Maybe during live videos, we'll do a little pronunciation corner, and we'll do some of those. But yes, he did say Mokedian's name. I can't remember exactly how he says it, but we'll do some of these more. Maybe I'll push them out over social media in a different way, maybe on Instagram or something.
That's one of the ones that I can't say. So
yeah, let's. Now, so I have a question. Were you Theorylanders friends with Dragamount, or were you more like rivals? No, we've also. I think Jason was the first person at Dragamount that gave me a website award. We were at times there were moments where there was rivalry, but it was always like a fun rivalry. It was always like for some quiz thing that websites were going to do. Known Jason for a long time, and we both were creating these websites together. And I think when we finally met, and I think our relationship just grew even more from there. It was awesome. But yeah, no, we were not rivals.
Dorks.
Yes, we were both dorks. That's for sure. No,
love them both. We were more rivals with Wattmania than anything else, but it was again a rivalry.
It was a friendly. That one was more not so much with Mike. I didn't feel that, but it was more. Again, it's more like a team kind of rivalry, right? It's like you were on a team, and whenever we had to compete, then it would come up. But no, there was never any additional rivalry. I think eventually I went over there to the sites and I would comment there, and they would come over and comment on our stuff. So, yeah, that's a great question.
Who was the Asmo Wars with? Was that Wattmania?
That was Wattmania.
Yeah, that was Wattmania. By the way, this is a hilarious comments. Matt Cabulary, which is a funny one. Yeah, and let me see. There's another question here. So the question is, if Amazon Prime comes knocking, will you consider doing a Watt after show? Well, duh. I think any content creator would. I mean, it's like if Amazon Prime comes knocking, who doesn't answer that door and want to, do something fun, right? But whether or not they come knocking, we'll be doing this all the time. So, and someone asked, do you have a studio for the Dusty Wheel in your garage? This is not my garage, but it is in my basement. So, almost as good. But yeah, not a garage band.
You're in the basement. Todd, where are you?
I'm in the office.
Yeah, I'm in my backyard, and Tal, when she is here, is taking one for the team. She has younger kids. She has to lock herself in the bathroom to be here.
She does. Tom saying I loved Wattmania for sure. All the sites had people that were. I mean, I think Linda Taglieri was a Wattmania. She's amazing and a really great friend. All these people, all these websites and groups had amazing, just amazingly smart fans. And like I said, it was always just at a rivalry team level. It was never personal. So, and then we have another caller. Let's bring the caller in. Seth, welcome to Dusty Wheel. How you doing tonight?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. How are y'all doing?
Good, man. Good. It's this is just a fun celebration tonight. So, and that was that I was gonna wait until the very end, but that pronunciation thing was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed that. So
I gotta tell you, my mind was blown there. I had a question prepared right out the window.
Nice. So what kicked off the call tonight? What do you want to talk about?
Well, I called in the other night and I was thinking, I actually don't know. You named the show The Dusty Wheel, so I'm sure you've probably covered it a million times. Maybe it's something from the book, and I'm just, completely missing it here. But I thought I'd ask.
Yo, that's a great question. I wonder how many people don't know this that are watching us right now or that'll listen to us later. But a fantastic question. Every once in a while we've covered this, like right at the beginning, the first couple shows we did. The Dusty Wheel is so the best way to explain it in the shortest amount of time is that when Brandon Sanderson took over for writing the books, I got to know him as an admin, as a creator of a website, eventually became a beta reader for the last two books. In that process, Brandon took a couple of the website and the people that ran those websites, because we were helping out with the beta read, and he took our websites and created inns out of them in the books. So if you go to chapter 31, Into the Void in Towers of Midnight, you will see me and this inn. And what I love about Brandon's descriptions that he made, what I love about it is he actually, I think, does a fantastic job describing Theoryland as the Dusty Wheel in the books, from the people, from the way it looked, just everything about that place. He definitely spent time embedding Theoryland into that, and he called it the Dusty Wheel, or as some referred to it, the rumor wheel. And he talked about it as a place that anyone would go to, whether or not it was your lowliest or your most elite, would show up there to talk about the news and rumors. And that's why I love Andrew's song that introduces us to the news and rumors that appeal. Welcome to the Dusty Wheel. So yeah, that is how this name came about. And I'll be honest, I read that in the beta read, which I can't explain that moment. It's a really difficult moment to explain, finding out that you're a character in your favorite fantasy series. That, beyond everything, is a strange, overwhelming, peaking moment, if you will. But then I immediately went and registered the domain. I was like, no one can have this. And it was really funny because I felt weird. I was like, what if people went back and saw that I had registered some domain? Maybe they could find out what that meant. But yeah, I registered thedustywheel.com immediately. I was like, that's mine. So that is the story. That's the shortest version of that story. But yeah, if you go read Into the Void, chapter 31, there's actually something about that I want to ask Brandon someday before I ever tell people. But there's a funny. Anyways, I'll stop there. But I want to ask him a question and find out if it's true before I tell the story. Maybe one of those things that Brandon says, in 10 years, you can do that. But yeah, for those of you that didn't know, that is the story of how the Dusty Wheel got its name. And it is Theoryland in a different age, if you will, right? In the third age versus the first age. So yeah, that's the story.
well, I've got a little bit of light reading cut out for me, but I'll quickly add for that Amazon question earlier. I think that's one point where you don't have to visit the fens, right? And the answer for that one's pretty straightforward. It's a yes.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to think very hard or long about that one. Seth, thank you so much for calling. I appreciate it. Great question that you asked, and we'll talk to you soon.
Until next time.
Until next time. So it looks like we have another caller, but we'll bring him in just a second. So Unraveling the Pattern just got here. What was the funny research thing? You're going to have to go back and experience it like everyone else did, man. But it's a lot of fun. Shansanig said, Matt is canon, y'all. That's hilarious. By the way, again, if you are here and you're here for the first time, hopefully you'll give us a subscribe and you'll like the video. We really appreciate it. Again, just like Daniel called, we hope for at the very least, a portion of the success that Daniel's had. He's amazing to have built up this fantasy news empire, and he just keeps going. Like, I will not be surprised if he'll be crossing 200K this year. Subscribers, it's amazing. By the way, Duff said, get Chris Hardwick to do an after show with guests a la Talking Dead. Yeah, exactly. That's whether or not Chris Hardwick does it, we will be doing our own version here. That's Talking Watt will happen for sure every week, just like it is right now. And then Miss Sarah James asked, what is the one piece of swag you want but no one has made yet? Ooh, that's a good one. What is the one piece of swag that I want? I don't know. That's
I'd want to get Cat Swain's hair pieces and give them to Todd.
Oh yeah, this goes back to Tatangrial.
Totally rock them in the beard,
Yeah, like I could totally have some kind of jewelry to Terangreal related to the Dusty Wheel. It would be a pipe. The pipe. There you go. The pipe works. I like that a lot. Anyone else spend time in the Yahoo groups RPing, role playing? I can't remember if I did. I did remember them. But that's why is Natalia never here anymore? So that's a good question from Jordan. She is going to be with us here on Sunday. It just so happens that as we do a lot more interviews with content creators and such, that the episodes that I have Mary, Todd, and Natalia with us are fewer and further between and spread out so much that if you miss 1 week, sometimes it feels like you missed a month or two. So, but to see Natalia, she'll be back on Sunday with us doing the live adaptation. So let's see if there's anybody other questions here. I know we have somebody waiting, so I'll pull them in just a second. Yeah, so let's do that. Brian is on the call here. Brian, welcome to the Dusty Wheel tonight. How you doing?
I'm doing great. First-time caller, long-time listener. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for being a long-time viewer and first-time caller. I really appreciate that. So what's on your mind?
Yeah, I'm just curious which scenes from the series, either season 1 or anywhere in the series, you're most excited to see the acting in that you may think may be submitted for consideration for an Emmy.
Do you mean just out of what they have done in season 1, or do you mean across, like if they did the entire series in TV, or do you just mean what we know we have, or what we think we have in season 1?
Well, whichever you'd prefer to answer. There are a lot of scenes that I think are going to require a lot of powerful acting.
Yeah, so I like something having to do with Logain. And I think we talked about this. For those who are watching, this is only a spoiler from book 2, so hopefully it's pretty light. But I think that one of them could be like gentling or something to that effect. That could be an interesting whole segment, depending on how they handle the gentling. So yeah, I think that to me that could be a really compelling moment.
Rosamund Pike telling the story of Manetherin.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, you picked an easy one. That's a good one. That's a good one.
I don't know that it would be nominated for anything, but when Thane nails the mirror draw to the barn door.
Ooh, I like it.
That should win an Emmy. Yeah, that's interesting. Do you have one in mind, Brian, that you think would be a good candidate for an Emmy win?
Yeah, one from deep in the series I think would be Egwene's Dinner with Elida.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot. You're right. Like deeper into the series, we're going to have a lot more opportunities for, interesting, like really compelling moments. So this is a spoiler. This is later on in the show. Taylor, can you throw up the spoiler warning here so anyone that's listening, you can come back. I'll wave you on, or I'll tell you that it's done, and you can listen again. But I will say that I think that the scene between Rand and Tam later on in the books could also be, in contention. Like that to me, if they do that one really well, that would be an amazing moment. It will be an amazing moment. So I guess I didn't really spoil anything. You can come back now. Yeah, go ahead. What were you going to say?
This isn't spoilery, but even Tam's follow-up scene with Catswain.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I like that. What a great question. Very difficult. That's for sure. And so, hey, Brian, thank you very much for watching the show, being a long-time viewer. Hopefully you'll give us a call again here over the next many months. We'll keep doing this. This is a lot of fun for us, and we just can't wait to get it out to more fans and just have more interaction internationally. And this has been a lot of fun for us, and so I appreciate you being a first-time caller tonight.
Absolutely. Thanks for the great content. Have a good one.
Hey, thank you. You too.
Thank you.
So, by the way, Mike just said, how do I help support you guys? So I definitely mentioned this in the beginning, and I want to re-mention this. So one of the biggest things you can do to help support the channel is literally share this content. Talk about it, share it on social media, follow us there, be here live with us, tell people about it. The more people that learn about it, right, we think is the most important piece. If you do want to leave us a tip, Taylor will throw this link in chat again. If you want to leave the Innkeeper and the Inn a tip, you can. We do it through PayPal. We just put this up tonight for you to be able to do that. Again, that's not why we're here. You don't have to do that. But again, if you want to support us buying more camera equipment and doing some things, we are going to be doing a convention later on this year. I don't want to make this isn't a formal announcement of that, but we're going to do a Wheel of Time online convention. So, some of the tips might go towards helping, put that together. And so, yeah, if you want to financially support us, you can go to that link that Taylor just posted in chat. It's paypal.me/thedustywheel, and you can leave us a tip there. And we'll absolutely, for the fans that do, I'll definitely have to give you a shout out here on a show. So here's another, exactly. Toss a coin to your innkeeper. Thanks. That's a good way to think about it.
Crossing the streams there. We still haven't seen Taylor, by the way.
I know we haven't seen Taylor. Are you just gonna come say hi?
No. 10K.
Just come say at 10K. Oh wow, he is holding out until 10K. If you want to see Taylor, you have to get us to 10K. Wow.
Share the channel.
All right, everybody remember that.
That's fantastic. So I'm gonna answer a couple more questions. We're gonna finish up here. It is 8:30. I'll try to if you just throw out questions, I'll try to answer them really quick. One of the questions was, Theoryland or the Dusty Wheel, which do you like better? They're the same thing. So to me, Theoryland, Dusty Wheel is just like the video version, the live YouTube version of Theoryland. Love them both. I don't need to run another forum in my life, so that part's true. But otherwise, love both of them, and to me, they are one thing. So,
my God, that means the hamsters are coming, aren't they?
Yes, they definitely are coming. And
I had them tonight.
Yes,
okay.
you did.
Was that a question, Taylor, that came from chat? So Taylor was saying that somebody was asking about the shelf. One fun thing, I think I showed people this one time before. I'll show it now. I don't know if this is a problem. I'm not selling this, but this is Nynaeve, if you like her. These are all of her point of view chapters, so it's kind of fun. This is like a book. This is like if Nynaeve, you just got everything from her perspective. I just kind of was curious what that would look like from a book perspective. Apparently it's 410 pages the way that I have it. So, but no, that's kind of a fun thing. And everyone liked the Grom. That's kind of fun. Aubrey, thank you so much for this. It sat on a shelf for a long time. It's now sitting on another shelf, but, a little bit more fun. And, everything else you see. The Jordan Kahn Award back there, that was really nice of them. Hero of the Horn Award, I guess. That was fun.
And the lovely InSign, too.
Yeah, Sarah asked, where do I get that? That book, again, is just something that, I put together. I would never. You can't sell that stuff.
That would
you
not
can
be
own
right.
it. You can own it in your basement. So, but you can't sell that kind of thing. Any other questions from chat? We have one other caller. We'll take that caller. But any quick questions? And I'll just I'll try to run off these questions as I see them. Joe said, "Who's your favorite Forsaken?" Just kidding. Lanfear. And then someone asked, Cannon Fodder asked where to get the T-shirt that shows up in that video that we just recently did with Daniel. That T-shirt was a one-time thing at a Jordan Con, so there's no way to get it any longer unless Amazon Prime decided to remake that one. It's a very cool T-shirt.
Which one was it?
That's the one with the it's the Ashaman. Has like the symbols on the. Terry said, "Show us the 3D wheel." Okay, so I'll show you the 3D wheel. It's pretty sweet, huh?
I have one of those too, right here.
Yeah, Todd's wife did those. Those are fun. Trying to see if there's anything else. Favorite Jordan Con guest of honor. Ooh, that's tough. I think Brandon was probably. That's too easy.
I liked when we arrested Jason Denzel.
Yeah.
That was fun.
That was fun. We did that. We were year 2. We got to we got to arrest Jason Denzel. That was pretty good. Why do you think the last battle was in the 3rd age rather than the 7th age? I think there's a last battle in probably most ages. Well, at least we know for 2 of them. But yeah, that's an interesting question of will we still have those? What if Perrin becomes more beloved due to the television show than he was in the books? I believe yes, that's going to happen.
I hope so.
Did you cry when a certain character died? I won't ruin it for people watching. No, I did not. Not on that one. Other characters may be close to it. And let's bring this last caller into the show, and then I can't tell if maybe I should have the innkeeper's wife probably go ahead and screen this call, and if she's still listening, and she can screen that call, and then we'll bring the caller in. So Glenn asked, you have to tell the story. Why did you arrest Denzel? He was master of ceremonies for the first year, and we did this whole thing about the fact that he started as master of ceremonies because he didn't want to give up that position. So we came pretty much in and arrested him. So Theoryland took over the second Jordan Con. That's kind of how it happened. So let's bring in. It looks like we have Greg. Let's bring him into the show. Hey, Greg, welcome to the Dusty Wheel. How you doing tonight? Can you hear us? We can't hear you if you can hear us. Oh, let's try to bring him in again. Greg, can you hear us now?
Oh, yeah, I can.
There you go. Sorry, I should have said welcome again. But I was into the mode of saying, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? So welcome to the show, and what's your question?
The thing that I always love asking fans of book series, and would love to hear what y'all's would be, if you had to remove either a character or a specific scene from the books, just balefire it out so it never happened, what would you pick?
Ooh, wow. Okay, so this is probably going to go in spoiler territory. So for those who are watching, Emmy, the question being, if you could balefire a specific scene out of the show, basically out of the books, which scene would it be? There's one coming to mind right now, Todd or Mary.
Oh yeah.
So for those, again, don't ruin anything in chat for people that are just reading the books for the first time, or as much as possible. So go ahead, Mary. Let's hear yours.
No, I've said it before. It's not going to be a surprise. I still firmly in the camp that Moiraine should have stayed dead.
Yes, you'd balefire any return of said character.
Yes, I would.
And then you, Todd, what's yours?
I don't have one. I'd have to think on that for quite a while before I could.
I mean, that's kind of what we're doing with our live adaptations is going through and deciding what stays and what has to
Yeah,
go.
that's a good point.
So in that case, we could just I'd say kick the Green Man to the curb because I absolutely despise the Green Man.
You'd Balefire the Green Man?
I'm sure there's somewhere in there somebody else that I can come up with that's has a lot bigger role. But
if I could Balefire enough so people would talk just normally and wouldn't have to wait until end of books to have conversations, that's what I would do. But that wouldn't be any fun because that would fast forward us to the end. I don't know that I have a great scene right in this moment. Do you have one, Greg, that comes to mind?
You know, if it needed to be a specific scene, honestly, I feel like Galad joining the White Cloaks as a leader was just... I feel like if that could have turned out any different way, it would have been better, and I would honestly rather he desert or do anything else other than go down that road.
Interesting. Yeah. So yeah, if you want to show, I don't know if you've watched the show very much, but we do a live adaptation, and this is pretty much the question we ask ourselves, which is, does this scene, should this exist? If not, why? If so, why? And we have a lot of fun. We call it Keep or Kill. And it's very surfacey kind of live adaptation, but it's a lot of fun for us. And so this is the kind of question that comes up. So yeah, you should check us out on Sunday. We're gonna continue our live adaptation of The Great Hunt. And yeah, this is precisely what we ask everyone in chat, and the difficulty that we go through of trying to determine the answer to that specific question. But yeah, great question. Really appreciate you calling in, being our last caller. And being around for us to celebrate 5K. So hopefully you'll hear from you again, and hopefully keep watching.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me again, guys.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Gadfly's asked what's a live adaptation. So, and maybe I just explained it, so I'm seeing the chat a little bit later. But basically, we pick some chat. We just walk through all the chapters, and scene by scene, we determine if a character, a plot, or the scene itself should show up in the Wheel of Time Amazon Prime TV series, or if we can do without it. And so we all make our case. It's a lot of fun. It's pretty raucous sometimes, depending on who our guests are and depending on who we cut. Like when we cut Loyal, that hurt a lot of people. I don't want to say we. When you guys cut Loyal, I brought him back. So you're welcome.
I didn't. Did I?
I'll own that one.
You'll own that one. So I want to thank everybody.
Wrong.
Well, this is probably one of our longer shows, but hopefully you've had fun and enjoyed it. This is exactly pretty much what we do, except we don't talk about ourselves like this too much. That was a lot of fun. Hopefully you got your questions answered. If you didn't, you can always go over to Discord. You can ask me your question, there. And yes, Gadflies, it's live, as in just like this, just live. We just read through the books and do it. So, but yeah, I really appreciate everyone showing up tonight and calling in with your questions and leaving them for us here. Hopefully you've learned a little bit more about us, and make sure go check out the podcast, download it. I know you've seen all the episodes, but it's a lot of fun to go back. I had a lot of fun listening to the interview we did with Sarah Nakamura. That was so cool. It's definitely, you can find it on Apple, and you should be able to find it other places. And like I said, we're going to be doing some original content both on that podcast, and you're going to see a second podcast that comes to this channel. It's going to be called BARSIDE Chats with the Innkeeper and the Dusty Wheel. It's going to be a lot of fun. Like I said, the first episode is about Pater, and Brian and I have a lot of fun riffing on that topic. So, and if you again are still here first time, please sub. Let's make it to 10K. Can't wait this year. I hope it happens. That's going to be like a huge celebration for us. That's going to be a lot of fun. And let's just keep going. Again, the whole idea is to just keep growing and growing and growing and having so much fun with all the fans come the time when the show premieres. And like I said, like someone asked, we'll have Daniel on and Nablus. Is it Nablus? Is that how we pronounce it now?
No. I just can't take it seriously. Nablus.
Oh my gosh. Nablus. So yeah, I really appreciate it. Yes, Pater asked, I'll give Pater the last question. Who's your favorite fan of the Dusty Wheel, and why is it Zool? Xanadul. Exactly right. And Joe, Matt, when are you going to have time to go to the bathroom? I know, just there isn't enough time. So again, thanks everybody for coming out. This has been a lot of fun. I really appreciate all the questions you asked. Hopefully I answered. Maybe we kept some back and we'll answer them next time we do a live stream just like this. Don't forget, Sunday, live adaptation. Then next Wednesday, Mike's book reviews. Mike's going to be with us. It's going to be a lot of fun. He just crossed 10K on his channel. So amazing. I can't wait to talk to him all about this. It's going to be a lot of fun. So as we say from here, good night from the Dusty Wheel and smash to black.
If you want news and rumors that appeal, welcome to the Dusty Wheel. If you want news and rumors that appeal, welcome to the Dusty Wheel.